So this micro webinar is presentation tips using PowerPoint. My name is Victoria O'Keefe, and what we're going to cover today is how to check a presentation. We're going to look at the Eyedropper tool, copying an image, design ideas, navigating confidently around your presentations, looking at the quick access toolbar, annotation, shortcut keys, and then how to save a presentation. So to get out of the presentation straight away, I can use the escape key, and I'm just going to drag it over. Just to let you know, I have three screens in front of me. I have the screen, my big monitor that I present on. I've got my lesson plan on my laptop with the camera, and I'm also lucky enough to have an iPad. So when I present, I always open up the meeting on my iPad just to make sure that I am presenting the correct PowerPoint. So you can use the editing tools in your PowerPoint. And I'm going to start with my opening page. Now, if you've spent a long time trying to get the correct colour to match maybe some of the text, sometimes it can be really difficult to do so. So I'm just going to highlight Daily Digital, and I can go up to the font group, and next to the A drop down, I can choose the Eyedropper tool. And this will select any colour. So I'm just going to go with pink first of all. So it's exactly the same colour. If I went up to the colour picker, it might be really difficult to try and get the same colour. So I highlight my text and go up, eyedropper, and I might want this colour here. And finally, my title, go up to the font group, choose the eyedropper, and as it's Friday, I'm going to go for a bright pink colour. So that's the Eyedropper tool. I'm going to go to my outline, and when you're delivering presentations, it can be really awkward for people to see words if they're all in capital letters. So from a distance, it might just look like a slide full of text, and it's really difficult to make out what the word is. So I'm just going to highlight the word outline. And again, within the font group, I can choose the large A and the small a, which is change case. And I'm going to choose sentence case. So from a distance, you can see the outline of the words and it makes it more accessible. Making sure my PowerPoint is 100% perfect before I present it. I'm looking at this Cardiff Castle image and it doesn't look very aligned to me. Is that in the centre? I'm not 100% sure. So I can go up to view, and in this show group, I can choose guides. And with guides, I can left click and just drag them around my slide. Or my favourite are the grid lines. So I can just move it either with my mouse, or I can use my left and right, up and down keys to move it into place. When I present, these guidelines won't appear, and if I print this out, they won't appear on my slides either. Now, if I wanted to quickly copy this particular image, I can select the image with my mouse, keep my finger pressed down on the control key, and drag the image out. And when I let go of my mouse, I've got two images identically the same. I can also do this with any shapes or any other images as well. I'm just going to move on to the history of Cardiff Castle. So if I'm designing a slide and I might feel I need more inspiration, so I can go up to design and I can choose right at the end of the ribbon, design ideas. And Microsoft will have a look at the slide and it will come up with different ideas for me. So instead of it just being a plain picture and the text on the right, I could have the text over the top of the image and it will move the images for me, and I can just choose which thumbnail I like from this list. So design ideas can be very, very useful as well. Now I've perfected my presentation and I've practiced it. So what I can do now is run the show. Now I can either run from the very beginning, I can go up to the slideshow and all the options are here, and I can use the icons in the bottom right hand corner. If there's going to be something that I'm using all the time, so maybe run from current slide, I can right click on the icon and add it to the quick access toolbar. So wherever I am in my presentation, I can just go up to the quick access toolbar and choose that icon. So I can right click on any and add them to the quick access toolbar, and I can click to deselect them. So that's something that's really useful. So F5 to run from the beginning of the show, or Shift and F5 to run from the current slide. So I'm going to use Shift and F5, and you can see it's opened the presentation on the slide I was viewing. So when I'm running the show, I might want to change the appearance of the screen. Maybe there's some confidential information I'm presenting and somebody comes in or walks past. Well, on my keyboard, I can press the W key and it changes to white, and I can press the W key and it comes back. And the same with B, and my screen will turn black, and I can press B again and it comes back. So W and B. They will only work if the show is running. When I'm running the show, if I'd like to know all the available shortcut keys, I can press the F1 key and it will give me a list of all the keys that I can use. So that's really useful as well. When I'm running the show, I might be asked a specific question on a topic which isn't coming up next. So I can right click when the show is running and I can choose to see all the slides. So say, for example, somebody was going to ask me about modern Cardiff and I can just jump to that slide. And when I right click, I can go to the next slide or the previous, or even the last slide which I viewed. So right click and this menu appears and we can see all the slides. Something else that we can do when we right click is select the pointer options. You might want to emphasize something on your screen. So I can just emphasize the remains on Cardiff Castle here. I can right click, go to pointer options. Maybe I want to change it to a pen if I want to annotate the slides. I can also change the ink color. So I can make the annotations. And something else that's really useful is the highlighter pen. So if I want to emphasize something on my presentation, I can. Once I've used the annotation tools, I can continue running my presentation. And when I get to the end of my presentation, a message will ask me, do I want to keep my ink annotations? So I might want to reuse them next time. I can keep them or I can discard them. And just a few more things. When you're running, about to run your presentation and your audience are waiting, you might not want them to see all of your slides. You might have a lot of slides and that might put the audience off, even if your presentation is quite quick. So what you can do is go to File and save a copy. And normally our PowerPoint presentations have the .pptx file ending. But if I want to save this just as a show, I would use pps. There we go, PowerPoint show, and save it. And now if I find my show, so you can see it's normally saved here and I can edit it, or I can just open it up directly when it's saved as a show. and it starts to run. Something else I can do, if I didn't want to save it as a show, I can right click on my PowerPoint presentation and choose show, and it will also run from here. So I'm just going to quickly see all slides and go to the last slide in my presentation. Any questions?